Welcome to Friday's market wrap-up, folks. Here at Top Gun Options, Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz, and you just can't make this up. Literally, I pull up the Drudge Report, and the first thing catches my eye: Democrats blast reckless jobs boom. You can't make this stuff up, folks. I mean, Trump could come out today and announce that he's the Antichrist, and they would complain it's not hot enough in hell. You wouldn't believe this jobs number, man. This is just absolutely phenomenal. We'll dig into the numbers here in a second, but strategically, folks, we have to keep an eye on this because oil. Let's take a look at what the XLE is doing today. We're going to talk about volatility in a couple minutes here, but the XLE, a little bit of a pop here. Seeing some volatility in the oil market, folks. Iran coming out, beating some war drums that we own the Strait of Hormuz and we're going to stop all regional Gulf oil. Okay. It's comical, right? I did a deployment to the Northern Arabian Gulf and flew 44 combat sorties over Iraq, which kind of was boring. I gotta be honest with you, most of the time that we weren't flying, we were spending time planning strikes into Iran. So this is CVN 72. That's the Abraham Lincoln. Been in a Hornet sitting on that flight deck. So folks, this is the U.S. Navy essentially said that's an act of war. You guys want to close the Strait of Hormuz, you're going to regret it. So keep an eye. You got to keep an eye on these things. And I kind of did a little foreshadowing just now because I had the VIX up. Why? The VIX is getting smashed today. It's been getting smashed all week. We had that little bit of a Monday, oh my God, we're going to have a trade war sell-off. And what did we do here at Top Gun Options? Well, we sold into that huge spike in volatility on Monday, a VXX bear call spread. If you stayed in this trade until Friday, so look at this. It was the 39.5. We sold these calls expiring today. And as a hedge, in case the world did go to hell in a handbasket by today, we bought these calls. So this is called a bear call spread, and check out the risk in this trade. So we were risking, let me scroll down here, we were risking about $5,400 to potentially make $2,100. So if you're still in this VXX trade that we placed Monday afternoon, you got $2,100 in your pocket going into the weekend. Let me get a hell yeah if you like this trade. And we had another volatility trade last Monday that we closed in a day for a hell yeah profit. So we're having a blast here, folks. But we have to keep an eye on what's going on in the oil markets because this thing is about to get interesting. Okay, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? At midnight, what happened? We got into a trade war with China. So here we go, man. It could be months, it could be years. We'll see. But this thing, it's going to get uglier before it gets better. But I mean, who the hell cares? Let's take a look at the S&P 500 today, man. Bam, huge bounce off the 50-day moving average based on this jobs report. I got to be honest with you. Reading the Fed minutes yesterday, they were a little hawkish. The market sold off a little bit yesterday as we read those Fed minutes because the Fed's actually considering raising interest rates next year at a faster clip because the economy, you ready for this, is overheating. So, maybe that's what the Democrats are bitching about here. Oh my God, the economy is too good. You can't make this stuff up, folks. But, I mean, when the Drudge Report's leading with it, and look at the top left here, trade war China, tariffs on $500 billion worth of goods, Beijing hits backs, confusion at ports, oil markets more tense, China military reforms a win war to overtake you. This is, I get it, folks, that we're getting this rip-your-face-off rally today. But I'm going to call this a Goldilocks report. I mean, this was a blowout number here. What was forecast? The forecast was $1.95, and we got 213. And look at the previous month; it was a revision up from 223 to 244. So why am I calling it Goldilocks? This is a great number, Wiz. Avert your eyes from the great number, and this is a bad number. So this is what I really care about, to be honest with you, folks, as an indicator of what's going on in the economy. Average hourly earnings went down. So maybe that's what the Democrats are bitching about is, yeah, you're making new jobs, but people aren't making as much money. Okay, enough, folks. Again, people would complain it's not hot enough in hell. I get it, but that's the market. Ladies and gentlemen, if Amazon could pay people a penny to work there a year, the dude would do it. So wages find a market. There's a mid-market on wages. I get these are a little soft. And this was an unexpected tick up, right, from 3.8, the unemployment rate, to about 4.0. But this is way below the Fed's definition of full employment. If you want a job, you can get it. That's why there should not be one person in this country, not one, on welfare. If you're able-bodied, man, well, if you're able-bodied, you're not on welfare, you're on disability. So if you're on welfare, man, get off it and go get a job. So key takeaways, man. There isn't that much slack left in the labor force, which, I got to be honest with you, it needs to be a little bit bearish. Well, Wiz, that's really good news. Well, that means the Fed might dial up interest rates a little faster than we thought. As we covered, wage growth isn't really kicking on here. Manufacturing jobs are strong. The president, love him or hate him, is bringing steel back. He's bringing blue-collar America back, which is not going to be good for the Democrats. The Fed ain't too worried, obviously, about jobs, but they are starting to worry about the economy heating up too much. So, It's interesting. This is going to be fun. So, like I said, I called it Goldilocks, and then I saw these guys. So stronger than expected, but the average hourly earnings disappoint again. So that provides fodder for people who just complain about everything. Is Trump winning? Look at this headline, guys. This is a sleeper story today. The U.S. trade deficit plunges the most in 10 years. That's a good thing, man. So love him or hate him, God forbid you want to be in a fair deal, right? The president, hey, man, why can't we just have free trade? Everybody drop your tariffs, drop your taxes, your tariffs. Let's just have a free exchange of goods and services, man. Let the market figure it out. God forbid you actually use your brain on this stuff. So as we talked about yesterday in our Analyze Your Trade session, this was an inflection point in the market. I said, hey, we're either going to do this and go down. This 200-day might be a magnet, or we're gonna head up. And it was a coin flip, man. I was biased actually to the downside, but day ain't over yet, so to speak. Q2 earnings. So we'll forget about this jobs report by Monday, guys. What's going to be the issue? Our Q2 earnings. Remember Q1 earnings back here? Some of the best earnings I've seen in a quarter century of doing this. What happened? The market shrugged. So that's what I'm worried about. So today, confetti. Remember, it's also, there's kind of low volume here, folks, on the at least on the S&P 500. Why? Dudes are still hung over in the Hamptons after almost blowing their hands off with fireworks. So there's not a lot of institutional investors, man. This has kind of been it's going to be a 5-day weekend, so to speak, with the 4th of July in the middle of the week and me getting ready to go head down to Viva Brazil in Fort Lauderdale to watch the Brazil game. This rally it's good. Hey, don't get me wrong, but we got to see if it's got legs, okay? As you dig into it, and people do over the weekends, by Monday, I don't even think we're going to remember this jobs report. I remember this. Whenever we come out with these jobs reports, it's funny to see the Friday reaction, and then Monday, it's like people even forget that Friday happened. So Tesla continues. What's Tesla doing today? I didn't look at it. It's been getting pounded lately. Elon Musk had a very weird day yesterday, battling with analysts and stuff like that. That is not a good-looking chart, man. Tesla, Facebook, all those things that we love to talk about. So actually, I'll tell you what, I got to run because I am going to go watch Brazil, hopefully beat Belgium. Going to throw in my my Edward number 9 jersey that I got, and I'm going to go root for Brazil and have some caipirinhas. Okay, so great jobs report. The Fed, if anything, might be a little bit more hawkish with these type of strong numbers, man. This time next year, we might actually be dialing up interest rates a little quicker to keep the economy from overheating. But what a difference a year makes, folks, or even 2 years. Barack Hussein Obama would have given his right arm for these type of job numbers and GDP growth and just booming this going on. But he didn't. This dude's accomplished more in a year than that guy did in 8 years, or 16 years of him and George Bush. So anyway, have a great rest of your day. Go Brazil. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll talk to you guys for Monday's market outlook. We'll see you.